These 10 principles are not just personal opinions, they represent the shared foundation of many consistently profitable traders. They are not rules or quick tips, they are principles. A rule tells you what to do. A principle explains how reality actually works. When you truly understand how reality works in trading, the rules naturally build themselves. These principles are about the structure of the market itself. Every trader who achieves real consistency has internalized them so deeply that going against them feels physically uncomfortable, not just understood mentally, but absorbed completely. That is the level of mastery we are aiming for. The first truth is simple but hard to accept. Every moment in the market is unique. Most people resist this idea because uncertainty feels dangerous. Believing the market is predictable feels safer. Even thinking the game is rigged can feel comforting, because at least something rigged seems consistent. But whether manipulated or not, every single moment in the market is still unique. That will never change. You may see a pattern you have seen 1,000 times before, a double top, a breakout, a clean level with volume confirmation. It looks identical to something that worked yesterday. Logically, you expect the same result. But this time, price does the opposite. It breaks higher instead of dropping, and suddenly you feel confused, frustrated, maybe even betrayed. What changed? Visually, nothing. But invisibly, everything. The traders behind the orders are different. The institutions involved are different. The algorithms are different. Information is different. The time is different. The liquidity is different. The chart may look the same, but the forces driving it are not. The similarity is an illusion. The outcome is independent. Monday's result has absolutely no power over Tuesday's result. Your brain wants to connect the dots. It sees patterns and assumes certainty. It wants to believe that if something worked before, it will work again. That belief creates comfort. It creates confidence. It creates the illusion of control. But this illusion silently destroys traders every single day. The sooner you accept that every moment is unique, the sooner you stop demanding the market to repeat itself for your emotional comfort. Another powerful shift must happen inside you. You likely carry old beliefs. Beliefs like, I can predict the market. This pattern always works. I'm on a winning streak. These beliefs feel real. They carry emotional energy. And as long as they carry that energy, they control your behavior. Your task is to remove energy from those old beliefs and transfer it into healthier truths. Not just understanding that trading is about probability, but knowing it deeply, accepting it at a level where it becomes automatic. This is not just learning, it is reprogramming. When you see a setup, your old belief might whisper, this will definitely work. It feels strong and confident. The new belief says, this might work or it might not. Anything can happen. At first, the new belief feels weak. Over time, through repetition and experience, it grows stronger. Every time certainty fails you, you feed the new belief. Every time acceptance protects you from emotional damage, it gains power. Eventually, probability becomes your operating system. Another major breakthrough is learning to disconnect trades from one another. One trade has nothing to do with the next. Winning 3 times in a row does not increase the chance that the fourth will win. Losing 3 times does not mean the next one is doomed. But your brain loves stories. It whispers that you are hot after wins, or cursed after losses. These whispers are lies. When you start trading the story instead of your system, execution falls apart. You take trades you should skip because you feel invincible. You skip trades you should take because you feel broken. Your decisions stop being logical and start being emotional reactions to previous outcomes. The previous trade is finished. Dead. It has no influence on the current setup. Each trade is simply another probability event within a large sample size. You must also accept something that may hurt your ego. Analysis is still a guess. You can spend hours studying charts, marking levels, calculating risk, aligning confluences. That preparation is valuable. But in the end, you are estimating likelihood, not predicting the future. You are saying one scenario is more likely than another, and more likely still allows room for being wrong. A losing trade does not automatically mean you made a mistake. It may simply mean the probability did not play out this time. Even perfect execution can lead to a loss. The goal is not to be right on every trade. The goal is to be right more often than wrong, over a series of trades. One trade proves nothing. A large sample size reveals everything. Your strategy gives you an edge. But an edge is not certainty. If your system wins 60% of the time, that also means it loses 40% of the time. Losses are not abnormalities. They are built into the mathematics of your edge. Judging your strategy based on 1 or 5 trades is irrational, yet emotionally it feels very real. When a trade loses, it can trigger frustration, doubt, even fear. You may feel like a failure, but that feeling is not evidence. It is just emotion reacting to uncertainty. Your edge never promised that this specific trade would win. It only promised that over many trades the probabilities would play out. The power of your system reveals itself over volume, not over a single outcome. And finally, you must deeply accept that anything can happen. At any moment. A sudden order, a large institution exiting a position, unexpected news, an algorithm reacting faster than you ever could. The market does not care about your chart or your confidence. It responds to order flow, and order flow is impossible to fully know in advance. Your brain desperately wants certainty. It wants guarantees. But trading offers none, only probabilities. When you truly make peace with that, something inside you becomes calmer. You stop being shocked by losses. You stop being overly excited by wins. You manage risk without hesitation because you understand that absurd moves, unexpected reversals, and sudden volatility are not personal attacks. They are simply part of the game. When you internalize these realities, your relationship with the market changes. You stop fighting it. You stop demanding certainty from it. You execute your plan with quiet confidence, knowing that any single result means nothing. Over time, discipline replaces emotion. Acceptance replaces fear. Probability replaces prediction. And that is where real consistency begins. She looks at the setup and tells herself, this trade cannot fail. The confidence feels powerful, almost intoxicating. Because she feels certain, she increases her risk from her usual 1% to 3%. In her mind, it is justified. Everything aligns. It feels obvious. Then the trade fails. It stops out quickly, without hesitation. And the pain hits hard. She is not only hurt because of the money, she is hurt because her certainty was shattered. Her belief that she knew what would happen collapses in seconds. The setup was valid. The analysis made sense. But anything can happen. A large player could dump their position. Unexpected news could hit the market. Liquidity could suddenly disappear. The market does know. Anyone confirmation. What she called confidence was actually certainty. And certainty in trading is dangerous. True confidence accepts uncertainty. Delusion denies it. The market punishes delusion without emotion. The lesson is simple. Accept that anything can happen before you enter the trade, not after it hurts you. Every trade has a cost. You are paying money to find out whether your idea will work. That cost is your stop loss. It is the price of information. If you are not genuinely okay with losing that amount, you should not take the trade. Hoping you will not get stopped out is not a strategy. It is fear disguised as optimism. If losing $200 feels unbearable, reduce the position size until it feels manageable. The loss should feel like a business expense, not a personal tragedy. When you enter a trade already resisting the possibility of loss, you sabotage yourself. You move stops. You widen risk. You hold and pray. And what could have been a controlled loss becomes emotional damage. This journey is long. You will need your psychological strength again and again. Do not waste it by taking risks that are too heavy for your nervous system to handle. Protect your capital, but also protect your mind. Another trap you must eliminate is the need to be right. Trading is not about proving your intelligence. It is about executing probabilities with discipline. You can predict direction correctly and still lose money because of poor management. You can be wrong about direction and still make money because you cut losses quickly and let winners breathe. Right and wrong are ego concepts. Profit and loss are business realities. Imagine a trade that immediately moves against you. Your analysis suggested a bounce, but price keeps falling. The old version of you might hold, refusing to admit you were wrong. It feels like giving up. It feels like failure. But the mature version cuts the trade calmly, accepts the small loss, and moves on. Was the analysis wrong? Maybe. Maybe not. It does not matter. What matters is protecting capital and preserving consistency. Many traders spend years refining their analysis but ignore execution. In reality, most experienced traders can produce decent analysis. The real weakness lies in execution, risk control, discipline, emotional control. If your analysis was correct but you still lost money due to poor management, that is not success. That is a warning sign. Focus less on being intellectually correct and more on executing professionally. There is another humbling truth. Order flow is unknowable. You do not know who is placing orders. You do not know their size, their intention, or their timing. You only see the result on the chart, never the intention behind it. You might see a large bullish candle and assume institutions are accumulating. You go long with confidence. Moments later, price drops sharply. That buying might have been short covering, not fresh demand. You could not have known. No indicator shows intent. The market reveals outcomes, not motives. This uncertainty is not a flaw in your system. It is the nature of markets. Accepting that you cannot see everything removes the illusion of control. Build your strategy around probabilities, not around pretending you have special insight into hidden forces. And eventually, you reach the most powerful mindset of all. Either way, I am fine. If you truly understand probability, then a win does not make you euphoric, and a loss does not crush you. Both outcomes are part of the same system. A win is expected. A loss is expected. Neither defines you, neither validates or invalidates you. They are simply data points in a long series. Emotional pain appears when reality violates expectations. If you expect only wins, losses will destroy you. If you expect both wins and losses, nothing shocks you. You remain steady. Imagine taking a trade and it wins. You feel calm. You take another and it loses. You remain calm. Not because you are numb, not because you do not care, but because you understand that your strategy wins 58% of the time. Losses are built into the equation. There is no betrayal, no injustice, just statistics unfolding. If you lose 4 trades in a row and hesitate on the 5th, only to watch it hit target without you, you damage your own edge. The system requires consistency. It requires that you execute regardless of emotional discomfort. The only real obstacle between you and consistent profitability is your reaction to outcomes. When you become emotionally independent from individual results, something shifts inside you. You stop fighting the market. Losses stop feeling personal. Wins stop feeling like proof of your superiority. Every trade becomes what it truly is, one probabilistic event among many. Stack enough properly executed probabilities together, and consistency appears naturally. Not because you predicted the future perfectly, not because you became smarter than everyone else, but because you stopped lying to yourself about how the market actually works. And when you truly stop lying to yourself, a different kind of clarity begins to form. You no longer approach the market with hidden expectations. You no longer secretly demand that this trade must work because you analyzed it perfectly. Instead, you approach each position with quiet awareness. You understand that your only real job is execution. Execution is simple in theory, but brutally difficult in practice. It means taking the trade when your system says take it. It means skipping it when your system says skip it. It means respecting your stop when price hits it. It means taking profits according to plan, not according to fear or greed. Most traders do not fail because their strategy is terrible. They fail because they cannot execute consistently under emotional pressure. Pressure reveals your true beliefs. If deep down you still believe that losses mean failure, you will hesitate. If deep down you believe you can outsmart the market, you will override your rules. If deep down you believe you must recover quickly after a loss, you will force trades that do not exist. The market exposes whatever you have not healed internally. This is why trading is not just technical, it is psychological. It forces you to confront uncertainty, ego, impatience, and fear on a daily basis. It magnifies every weakness, and at the same time it rewards discipline, patience, and emotional control with incredible precision. There will be days when everything aligns and your trades flow effortlessly. You will feel sharp, decisive, in sync with the market, and then there will be days when nothing works. Setups fail, entries get wicked out, you question yourself. Those days are not signs that you have lost your edge. They are part of the distribution. They are part of the natural randomness inside probabilities. A professional understands this. An amateur takes it personally. The professional measures performance over months and hundreds of trades. The amateur measures performance over the last 2 hours. The professional focuses on process metrics. Did I follow my rules? Did I manage risk correctly? Did I execute without hesitation? The amateur focuses on outcome metrics. Did I win? Did I lose? How much? When you shift your focus from outcome to process, something powerful happens. You regain control. You cannot control whether this trade wins, but you can control your position size. You can control your entry criteria. You can control whether you move your stop impulsively. You can control whether you revenge trade. And that control is enough. Another subtle transformation must occur. Patience must become natural. Most traders overtrade because silence makes them uncomfortable. When the market is slow, they feel restless. When there is no clear setup, they feel the urge to act anyway. But trading is not about constant action. It is about selective action. Sometimes the highest quality trade is the one you do not take. Waiting is a position. Discipline is a position. Protecting capital is a position. When you truly internalize probability, you stop feeling the need to participate in every move. You understand that your edge only exists under specific conditions. Outside those conditions, you have no advantage. And trading without an advantage is gambling. You also begin to respect risk in a different way. Risk is no longer something you try to avoid emotionally. It is something you manage logically. You size positions in a way that allows you to survive losing streaks. Because losing streaks will happen. Even with a 60% win rate, you can experience 5, 6, even 8 losses in a row. Not because your system is broken, but because randomness clusters outcomes. If you are over-leveraged, a normal losing streak will feel catastrophic. If you are properly sized, it will feel uncomfortable but manageable. And survival is everything. The trader who survives long enough allows probabilities to play out. The trader who blows up never gives their edge time to work. There is also humility in this journey. The market is bigger than you, smarter than you, faster than you. You are not here to dominate it. You are here to cooperate with it. You read what it gives, you respond, you adapt, but you never assume control over something that cannot be controlled. The more humble you become, the calmer you become. Calm traders see clearly. Emotional traders see what they want to see. Calm traders exit when hey should. Emotional traders justify and hope. Calm traders stick to size. Emotional traders double down. The difference in long-term results is enormous, even if the strategy is the same. And slowly, as you practice this mindset day after day, your identity changes. You stop calling yourself someone who wins or loses. You become someone who executes. That shift removes pressure. You are no longer trying to prove something to yourself or anyone else. You are simply following a tested process. There will still be frustration sometimes. You are human. There will be moments when a trade misses your target by one tick and reverses. Moments when you follow your plan perfectly and still end the week negative. In those moments, your maturity will be tested. Can you stay consistent even when emotionally disappointed? Can you take the next valid setup without hesitation? Consistency is not built in winning streaks. It is built in difficult periods. Anyone can follow rules when everything is working. Real discipline shows when you are slightly tired, slightly frustrated, slightly uncertain, and you still execute correctly. That is where the professional mindset separates from the emotional one. Over time, if you continue this way, trading becomes quieter inside your mind. The noise reduces. The dramatic highs and lows soften. You begin to experience trades as neutral events. A stop out is simply a completed transaction. A target hit is simply a completed transaction. Your heart rate stays stable. Your decisions stay rational. And in that neutrality, your edge flourishes. Because your edge was never the indicator. It was never the pattern. It was never the secret setup. Your true edge is disciplined execution under uncertainty. When that becomes automatic, your results begin to stabilize. Not perfectly, not magically, but consistently. You realize that the market was never your enemy. It was your teacher. It forced you to grow. It forced you to let go of ego. It forced you to accept uncertainty. And once you stopped resisting those lessons, the struggle reduced. Trading then becomes less about prediction and more about alignment. You align yourself with probability. You align yourself with risk management. You align yourself with patience. And when alignment replaces ego, stability replaces chaos. At that point, profitability is no longer dramatic. It is steady, boring even. And boring is beautiful in trading because boring means controlled. Boring means repeatable. Boring means sustainable. And sustainability is the real goal. Not one huge month, not one viral trade, not proving you are right. but building a process you can execute for years without emotional collapse. When you reach that state, you understand something deeply. The market did not change. You did. And that change makes all the difference.